Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some brushes. Why did I get the pink ones? Okay, yeah, all right, moving on. So, I had heard a lot and seen around YouTube people talking about Royal and Langnickle brushes. And I was like kind of on the fence because you know how it is. You watch videos and people are talking and raving about these brushes and you're sitting there going to the back of your head going, were they paid for that? They were sent them for free? Is that their honest opinion? Thought? I do it too. I'm pretty sure you're doing it right now, but they came out of nowhere, you know, all this. So I decided I'm going to take the plunge. Okay, it also helped that they had an IMATS sale and everything was 50-60% off. And I'm like, I can get like 8 brushes for $15. I'm not going to say no to that test. So that's what I did. I picked up their Moto line. They had a 7-piece set. The set came with a little, there it is, little case like this that you can stand up like that and have the brushes in it. So that's one piece of the 7-piece set, which really bothers me, but whatever. I'm not going to use this because I'm storing them in my skull. And if you don't know what that is, I suggest you take a look at my brushes video and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I also picked up a single brush from the Brush Essentials line. I didn't want to get pink. Purple was sold out, but here we are. So we're going to talk about these and my thoughts. Well, the first thing, one of the brushes you get is a spoolie and a lash comb. I don't necessarily like using these, but spoolies are nice. Spoolies are always good to have. This one's a very soft spoolie, so I wouldn't recommend it for like your eyelashes, but for your eyebrows it's nice and soft and it's not gonna like irritate like some spoolies would. I'm looking at my Anastasia brush. This spoolie's a little rough, so this one's nice and soft. So I like this. For the construction of the brushes, and this is going to be all the same for the Moto line, they have a rubberized handle, and then the ferrules are nice and solid, and they pin these, obviously they set the tool in it, but nice and solid, and they're brushed metal, so pardon me, I'm still getting over being sick. So moving right along. In the Moto set, you can buy these brushes individually, but in the set that I got did come a dual-ended brush, so we're going to jump into this. On one end, there was a crease brush, which is quite fluffy and nice and tapered. It doesn't have a pinched ferrule. As you can see, it is still tapered, and it's quite soft. And by the way, these are all vegan and synthetic, so we're good to go on that route. If you don't like animal hair brushes, there you go. And because they're synthetic brushes, they're generally great for cream. So, and then on the other end is a smudger end. I find that the ferrule on this comes up a wee bit much for a smudger, and it's getting underneath the eye is cool, but the ferrule is kind of away from the brushes a bit, so it does pull. Not the end of the world. I'll make it work, but this crease brush is really nice, and I like the blending of it. So then we have a shader brush. I wouldn't consider this a shader brush because it's dense, but it's not a stiffer bristle type thing. The ferrule should come up a little bit more and pinch a little bit better for me to consider it a shader. For reference, I consider this to be a shader brush, and this is my shading brush from Sigma. So as you can tell, the shape is there, but it's a little bit too bristly and a little bit too floppy for shading. On the other hand, it is a great blending brush. So if you want to get up in there and you crease and blend around, this is good for that. So again, rubberized, the ferrule's nice and brushed metal, it's long, all of that. And we have a brow brush. I think it's thin enough. I don't know if you guys can see how thin it is. It is quite thin, and it will give you some nice hairs. It's a little soft and bendy, but if you're into that for your brow brush, it's great. This would also be a great angled liner brush or tight lining. So there you have that. Very pinched ferrule. Really good, solid. All right, I'm going to talk about this thing. This is the Smoky Eye Brush. It is like a chubby pencil brush. and it's nice. It's not a pinched ferrule, so it's nice and round and got a nice big barrel on it. It is a pencil brush. I went and used it just like a regular pencil brush. Like I try to go do my thing where you go in there with a pencil brush and do just a tiny bit and then blend it out. No, this will give you a smoky eye whether you intend for it or not. But since smoky eyes are a big thing, this actually works out great as a brush. So it's really good for getting right in, and if you want to get the color in and then blend it out, you can do it with this brush alone. You can smoke out underneath the eye. I would be careful because it is such a big, I mean, compare it to my pencil brush from Sigma. You could see there's a bit of girth to that, so let's be careful. All right, and the last one in the Moto collection I have is this angled eyeshadow. I like this because you can place the shadow and you can turn it and you can blend it out, and it does a great job of both. As for like hard packing on color, it's not the greatest at that. You would need a shader brush like this to do that, but it's great for applying color and blending it out if you wanted a softer touch. If you're like me, you want to pack on a foil, you're better off with your fingers anyways. So pinched ferrule, rubberized, it's great. The one from the Brush Essentials line I picked up is an eye blender. I'm kind of regretting getting this because two of the other brushes in this collection, in this little set here, can work as a blender brush. I wish I did get a pencil and a shader, but it's very nice. Slightly pinched. Again, metal. This one's not a brush metal, and this is more of a wooden handle. So it's not like when you hold a Sigma brush where it feels like lacquered. It feels like an actual paintbrush. So that's what you get. I want to talk about the brushes and the company. The company has been around for a very long time making paintbrushes. So for them to be making makeup brushes, it kind of makes sense. And the quality is great, especially for the price. Like I said, I paid $15 for everything I got. That's plus I also got a little brush scrubber thing for 99 cents. So for the prices you pay for these, even full price, this Moto set is a little bit more expensive than one of these. So they're cheaper than Sigma, but I think the quality and softness are better. When I first got my Sigma blending brush, it was a little stiff and a little scratchy, and it took a couple washings to get it to a point where I was happy with it. Where these, right out of the box, they were good to go. Talking about washing, I did wash them. I've been using these. I did wash them, and they held up to washing and drying pretty okay. On a couple of brushes, there were long hairs sticking out. I wouldn't consider it shedding. They were still attached, but I did have to yank them out because they were bugging me. But for the most part, there's not been shedding on my face. There hasn't been anything like that. The ferrules and everything, they held up to washing. They held up to a deep scrub. When they dried, they held their shape very well. So they're good for that. I like the rubberized handle. It feels like I have a little bit more control on the brush. The ones with the wooden handle, it feels nice. It's nice the way they're shaped. It's wide and then down to thin. So it's a little bit more fitting for how the hand should hold a brush. So like this and the such, they're much more comfortable than just a flat brush like this. So I really like these. Would I repurchase? I plan on buying more when I get the chance. I will be buying some paste brushes and so on and so forth. I really do like these. I do think compared to Sigma, if you're looking at upgrading your brushes from like drugstore stuff to this, these are a really good option and really good set of brushes. I wouldn't say that they're the most professional, but they are high quality for the price range, and I think they're worth it. Compared to like a Real Techniques brush, I think similar in quality, but you've got more options with this brush company, and you can buy single brushes for like $4, $5, $3, whatever, and they're respected. The company's been around for a long time, just making not makeup brushes, so I think that also gives a little sense of like a little bit of peace of mind in the back of your head, going, okay, they've been doing this for a while. They're not just some startup out of the blue company that people have never heard of. They are like a legit brush company, just paintbrushes, not makeup brushes. They do have a plastic scrubber thing for scrubbing your brushes for 99 cents on their blog. I did get it. I do like it. I didn't use it on my goat hair brush because I was afraid it was a little stiff for that. But I did use it on a kabuki brush that I've had issues getting deep cleaned. And it did a wonderful job of that. So if you want to pick that up, it's 99 cents. Again, it's hard plastic, not silicone like other companies, but it's $1. So, and it is meant for cleaning paintbrushes, not just brush brushes. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the Royal Langnickle brushes I purchased. I do like them. If you watched my January favorites video earlier this week, you'll have known that they were my favorites. I really do think they're a good company. Shipping was it was like right away. I was expecting to wait because it was right after IMATS. But I got my brushes quickly. They ship out of in the country of in the US, but I believe they ship internationally. You know, there's one way to check. We're gonna check and see if they ship internationally. I know they ship in the United States for sure, but yeah, their brushes full price. The Moto ones are $6 or $5 each. They have dual sets for like 10. Shipping information. One of theirs is they pride themselves in generally shipping within 2 days of receipt, and they did. Okay, so they do ship to Canada and Mexico. They ship internationally, but the shipping's a little bit pricey because it's international. If you are in Europe and you'd like to purchase them, it is recommended that you go through their UK site because the shipping will probably be cheaper that way. Don't go through the US site, but if you're in the US or Canada or Mexico, you can do that. So there you go. They ship everywhere. They're great. So that means they're easy to get a hold of. So yeah, if you like this content and you want to see more, especially I'm going to write the review up on my blog, fieldbymakeup.com. But if you want to follow me here, hit the subscribe button. You'll get notified of my new videos whenever I post them, hopefully 2 times a week. Hopefully. Or you can follow me on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram at fieldbymakeup. And yeah, have that. Thumbs up if you like this. Comment below if you've gotten these brushes before and what your thoughts are. Maybe you've had a different experience. But so far my experience has been quite enjoyable. So there you go. I thank you for watching and I hope you have a wonderful day.